Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let
Thrive. What is up, Myka? Man.
I'm chilling, Stevie Stacks. How you doing, bro?
Man, doing good. Been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Man, how's everything been going on your end? I know you got some exciting news and everything else.
A lot of exciting news and everything else. And at first, I'd like to tell the fans this is episode 304 of your favorite short-term, mid-term, long-term rental podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas. And Myka is on the cast with us. It's going to be a great show, guys.
DF dub, baby. We back.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff going on. Thanks for asking. I had announced it. My wife announced it on the social media. We're going to have a baby boy. Found out we're having a baby boy.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Got his boy, man. He's been trying.
Had to lean into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, man. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You did one more.
Are we having more?
Yeah. Got your boy. You one more?
Hey, whatever God brings us, man. We're happy. I ain't cutting my balls. No, I'm not doing that.
He said he's gonna keep going, man. Not cutting it off. I understand.
Yeah, so that's a big huge, development. What's new with you, man? What's new? What's going on in your I hadn't seen you in a minute.
Man, dude, not much, man. I went to Mike and shout out to Mike Brown and Rob Neuendorf. I went to their meetup in Irvin not too long ago. Real nice place out there. And at the Bar Louie, I believe. Yeah, the Bar Louie was real nice. Went out there, hung out, met some people. But other than that, man, nothing, man. I'm getting ready. See, I keep telling you guys I'm down to this last arbitrage in Dallas, and I'm shutting it down. But I got all this furniture in my garage, so I was like, man, I'm about to sell this furniture. But then I'm like, man, this Mansfield, my Mansfield unit, the lady didn't renew, so I lost that management contract. But I'm like, man, I got all this furniture. I can just get an arbitrage and just throw the furniture in there. So I'm like, I'm gonna just get an arbitrage in Mansfield. And it's a house, and that's more my expertise, and my thing is houses. So I'm gonna get that going. And other than that, man, that's been about it. And then I lost a bid on a house today. I was trying to buy a house at the auction, lost the bid, but it ended up he overpaid for it, but the reserve wasn't even met anyway. So it goes back into auction. So I don't know if I'm about to rebid on it, but that's been it, man. Just trying to grow the business. Working, studying for my next big IT cert, and that'll push me to the level I'm trying to get back into contracting on that side so I can really bankroll the real estate side. And that's been it, man. Just keep on rolling, man. How's the business side with you?
Business has been growing, man. Just getting more management, more people under management, and getting more properties under management, and like it's funny because like shout out to Cheryl. I met her through a friend, and we ended up doing business together. Got an arbitrage for her, and I'm managing it for her. We're managing it for Argis is managing it for her, and I instantly got someone in there. Like I said, I had mentioned on our previous cast, I believe, but like it's someone that's going through a fire, through corporate housing, and they're gonna be there probably over a year. And they're paying like $6,200 a month. So I like knocked it out of the park. I had these people already ready to go before I even, got the house under arbitrage for her. Well, she's on arbitraging it. She paid the rent, did all that stuff, and then boom, here's your client. So she's like, "Wow, you're really good. Let's do some business together." And a bunch of things happened out of that. She's, introduced me to other people. They want me to manage for them too because they see what I can do. And then also we're just closed on a house today with Cheryl. Just bought a house with her today in Grand Prairie. Southern Grand Prairie, the nice area, big 5-bedroom house. So we just bought that together, formed a little business, DSCR, bought it 7.25 interest or something like that. Not too bad for a DSCR. Yeah. And do what?
Good for a DSCR. Dang, a 7?
Yeah, yeah, in the sevens, man, the low sevens. So we got yeah, we got lucky. I mean, I don't know about lucky. We got a guy in case you need a guy. I'll send him your way. But yeah, so DSCR, put it in the LLC, all that fun stuff, and just closed it. The tenants, I mean, not the tenant. Well, now they're tenants because they were the previous owners. So they're the tenants. They're gonna be. They got like a small lease back, till the July 4th just to get everything out and leave and stuff like that. So and they'll be gone in a week, and then we'll be turning that one into a corporate rental with a little bit of Airbnb if we want. I don't want any Airbnb, but that's why I like Grand Prairie. You have the option to do both and fill in the gaps and all that stuff, even though the gurus say there's never any gaps. Whatever. I like the flexibility. All right, gurus. I know y'all are perfect and you'll never fucking fail, but I like flexibility. I like to put myself in positions to succeed.
Man, I love the flexibility too. We actually just had a $6,000 reservation through Airbnb yesterday. The guy checked in yesterday, booked yesterday. But what happened was with this guy, I'm managing for this guy, but he had like these week gaps because it's a really, really big ass property. And he had like a 7-day gap. Someone booked for like 4 days. And then I always do the rule set. I drop especially on Airbnb, I will drop the little adjacency discount and anything, because it's the property so big and we're charging so much, anything Monday through Thursday, we do a little last minute discount. But really it's to encourage people to book long term, and boom, as soon as we did it, that next 10 hours later, somebody booked for $6,000 for 33 nights. I was like, dang, I know he's about to be happy. But yeah, that's really what I use it for too, man, is that gaps. Just be a gap filler. And I'm having an issue with like one of my clients. She's all 30 days, but the thing about it is she's been sitting empty, and she ain't got no Airbnb reviews, no Furnish Finder reviews. And it's like, and she had this big, nice backyard, but she doesn't allow pets. So it's kind of like one of them things. I'm like, we're like McDonald's, but we're telling people we don't have no cheeseburgers. We're not catering to our target audience. So, dealing with stuff like that.
You mentioned something good, man, because like is sometimes the hosts that we're managing for are not very hospitable, and that puts us in a weird spot. Because I mean, I've been in this business, we probably like 7 years. We've been in over 7 years now, so we learn to be hospitable and at least to try to, there's some a-hole guests, but most of the guests are cool and they're cool with you and they're cool with you fixing issues for them. And when there's one that's just a Karen or really nitpicky, and one that's presenting like real issues. And then you might start out cool with the host and that you're managing for or co-hosting for, whatever, and everything's good because the first few guests never said nothing about nothing, and you have a good relationship. All of a sudden you get a guest that starts complaining a little bit, valid complaints, and they're like, oh, well, if they don't like it, tell them they can leave. And I'm like, that's not really not what I was trying to get at here. I was just trying to say, you want to go fix this AC problem. I don't.
Bro.
Yeah, not very hospitable. And I'm like, well, they're not. I know when it's a Karen, I know when it's a nitpicky person, but this is kind of an issue here. And I just want to help solve this for him. And I said, well, you want me to send the cleaner to go clean that deal? He goes, no, I don't want to send out a cleaner. A cleaner's. Here's the thing too. You kind of, if you take sometimes some of these things you take over is like, well, I have my own cleaner. They're great. I'm gonna use them, this and that. And then you're like, hey, can I call your cleaner out to come handle this? No, they live too far away. I'm not gonna send them over there for that. I thought that's what y'all were for. I'm like, well, yeah, we're managing, but I'm not gonna go over there I'm not gonna go clean. We have our own cleaners. You wanted to bring your own cleaner in. I thought that's yeah.
Bro.
Huh?
This leads to a good conversation. For people that do management, you got to have like some sort of contingency plan in place, because some owners, man, the thing that I've noticed, and I don't know, you can probably tell me too, I noticed the biggest like owners who just can't relate to the short-term, mid-term thing are the ones who are used to being hands-on landlords. and just want to be that power and control, and they can't release it. That's what I've noticed. Those are the ones that struggle with the transition, man, from what I've seen.
Yeah, no, big time, man. And or just or maybe they got burned in the past before and they don't want to put up with no BS, from they've only done long-term rentals and they've got burned a lot from long-term renters and kind of like, hey, you can go turn that light, you can fix that light bulb yourself. You can fix this, okay, a long-term rent, I'm gonna rent a house. Yeah, I'm gonna change out freaking light bulbs and filters myself. But someone that's there for a week, you're not gonna have put them to work and doing maintenance chores and shit.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's the thing. They can't turn that off, bro.
And I ain't gonna go do it, man. I'm managing. Yes, I'm managing. Yes, I'm supposed to handle that. But you want me to send someone out? I'll send someone out. They're gonna charge $100 to come out and do it. I'm not gonna go do it. If I do it, I'm not doing it for free. Okay, yeah. Sorry, they just had to vent there a little bit.
No, that's the thing. And even when you manage, see, some things I don't know if, and this is how I kind of look at it. Is it worth the money? Like, I don't even think, I don't even allow them to bring their own cleaners. If you bring your own cleaners, you manage the cleaning then, and I'll just manage the calendar. Because I have tiers now. Like, hey, for 20%, we do everything. But if you want to bring your own cleaners, cool. You can do the cleaning thing. I'll manage for 10%. I'll just handle your calendar. You send your own cleaners out there. Shit, off my plate. I just charge a cheaper percentage. Because it goes back to that book pumpkin plan, man. Serve your best clients and have a tier system to where they are, and then you hold them accountable to that. You know what I mean? That's what I love.
And the only issue with that, if their cleaners end up being an issue, you know what I'm saying? Then you're stuck in the middle trying to handle it, and they don't want to send the cleaners out. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I don't want to send them out. They live in Keller. They live far away. Well, someone's got to handle this. What do you want me to do? Well, you're supposed to handle it. Oh, yeah, with my own. If I have my cleaning crew, I'd handle this. But what do you want me to do here? I mean, you got to do something. Well, if they don't like it, tell them to leave.
Situation where it's like, I don't know. You kind of put your hands up with it. You're like, look, if you can't send the cleaner out, the review's on you. You ain't gonna get the big money you want. You know what I mean? So I mean, I know those situations tough, man. Real tough, especially if you have somebody just stubborn. That's man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
We're talking about unhospitable hosts that we happen to inherit all of their bad processes and cleaners and all that stuff. And it's cool. It's money starts coming in. You get some guests that are all right, that don't make a fuss. But then once you get an issue, then you see the true colors of that particular host who you're helping the co-host for, and that don't want to do that. Tell them they tell their ass they can leave, and that's not a way to handle situations. Especially
they just don't understand it.
Especially if you sign up for like a 2-month lease, you can't just tell them to leave. Come on.
Yeah, that's that transition, man. We gotta all, I think Federico used to always talk about it, man. You gotta educate these people who are what kind of business they're getting into. You're no longer a landlord; you're in the hospitality business, man. And some people just can't process it.
And the only thing worse is when you get an arbitrage and the owners don't want to fix shit, and that just puts you in all kinds of binds, man, because you're trying to provide a service to someone, trying to provide a good place to stay for whatever the price you come up with, and then something goes wrong. Big dollar stuff, AC units, a flooded floor, or something that you would think they would address quickly. And we're getting some quotes.
What?
No, dude. Yeah. No, dude. It's like 110 degrees outside. Getting some quotes. Get the fucking thing fixed. I'm serious. We hadn't had a good cussing episode in a while. Solid. Yeah, I just want to get it all out. Thank you.
Speak your mind. I got some good stuff for this.
No, it just amazes me how many slumlords are out there, and they don't appear to be slumlords. I mean, the houses look nice and all this stuff, but as soon as something goes wrong. I mean, any of my houses, from my not so desired houses in the hood to the houses in the good, I fucking take care of them. Something goes out, AC unit. I don't want no one dying on my watch. But there's people out there. Well, hold on, I gotta make some calls. I gotta, motherfucker, go fix the AC. It's 110 degrees. They got a baby in there. They're worried about their doggy dying. It's dog, whatever. But it's just like you just assume people are at least a landlord like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That to keep avoiding fixing a problem is just going to make a bigger problem. It's going to cost thousands of more dollars. You know what I'm saying? A leak that you won't take care of, a running toilet or whatever it is, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't understand how some landlords don't want to fix nothing.
Because they're going to try to sell their house to a wholesaler as soon as that tenant moves out. And that wholesaler is going to try to rip you off and say everything works in there. And then they're all full of shit. I'll just say it. You know what I'm saying? Being real. It's my friend. Shout out to Scotty T. As he always tells me, man, all sellers are liars. And basically with slumlords, what they are. Most of the people, when they get, houses under contract for slumlords. And, they don't fix shit. And I'm in a situation where I'm going to tell you the situation we're in. So this dude did a rehab on a house. Me and Mike, we have a unit together. This dude did a rehab on a house, but he did a bad, quick rehab. He was like one of those rehabs, you throw the cheapest stuff in there, don't really get everything past inspection, so you just go get your money back out of it. He refinanced, he got his money back out. Of course, it doesn't cash flow long term, so we will pay him like a little bit over market, so he'll cash flow. So this is what he did. He got the basically the insurance, we tried to get proper insurance on it. They go in there and do an inspection. He has like some faulty wiring in there, right? So they're like, look, we ain't insuring this. He got faulty wiring. So we tell the dude like, hey man, you got faulty wiring. You got to either fix it. Or he's like, oh, well, I know a guy who can insure it, right? Here it goes. So, okay. You know a guy. So he ends up getting some insurance, some legitimate insurance who insured him knowing the faulty. No, basically his guy doesn't inspect the house that the wiring's faulty. So he insures the house like a long term. So a tree fell on the house while a guest was there. Luckily, nobody was hurt. We thought everything was good, but a leak came into the house, right? So we have to, now at this point, we can't rent the house. If we had proper, we could just, put a proper claim in and we get paid. So now house ain't rented. You can't rent the house. And there's his insurance ain't covering loss of income. He's just like, well, they're going to fix it when they fix it. We're like, bro, we're paying you rent. So it's like, come on, man. So we're having a conversation. I think Mike had a conversation with him yesterday. Like, look, bro, we told you the insurance we had would have covered this. We would have got paid. Everything would have been good. But sometimes, man, you just have some. And this dude owns a bunch of properties. He owns a bunch of properties. And and the thing about him, man, he's always trying to give them to arbitragers. That should have been a red flag for me right then and there. Like he always, hey man, I have another one. Y'all want it? We're like, man, hell no, I don't want this shit, man. Like you don't even. Yeah, we're like, yeah, bro, we're good. But he has they're nicer neighborhoods, but yeah, he just doesn't want to fix anything, bro. It's horrible.
And that's what you come across as an arbitrager. You see the gurus. Yeah, you don't even have to own a house. Arbitrage. Yay, everybody's happy. No. There's more to it. And the thing is, the number one thing I see, and it's not just everybody trying to be a slumlord, it's just they don't see us as long-term renters. Even though technically we signed a fucking 1 year or 2 year lease, we are long-term renters who have long-term renters' rights. If an AC goes out, you're supposed to fix that crap right away. If there's a leak or there's something damaged, the house needs repairs, the landlord needs to fix that right away, or they could get taken to court for negligence and all this stuff, putting their tenants in dangerous situations. They don't have to pay them a dime rent until this shit's fixed. We have those protections, but they don't see us as long-term renters, and we're kind of like doing a balancing act because we don't want to go to war with these people, especially if it's a profitable house. We've been doing good there. We want to keep staying there. We put a lot of money into it, furniture, all that shit. And then we got a lot of bookings coming through, and they're like, yeah, they'll fix it when they fix it. My guy can get out next week or in a few weeks. So I got to get some flooring quotes. I can't rent this place like this at all. And yeah, sure. If you have hopefully proper covers, like they're an insurance company like anybody else. They're going to look for every excuse not to cover you. Hopefully they cover you. But if you don't have proper or they don't cover you, you're screwed because you have to start canceling all these bookings coming up. You're not making a dime, and you paid rent for the whole damn month, right? And then you got to say, well, I'm going to just for this 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I couldn't rent it. I'm just going to take it off the rent. Next month, you better not do that. I mean, it just gets a terrible situation because they don't view you as a regular renter.
Man, they don't. They don't. See, man, this is going to be a long ass episode because we talk about some good stuff. So you bring up a couple of things, like especially for listeners, right? At this point, because I know you have a bunch of units. You do houses, you do apartments. Like at this point in your business, which do you think arbitraging is best? Like, what's the best arbitrage? Is it a house or is it an apartment? Well, like weighing out the pros and cons.
And see that's a tough one because you know, I have some arbitrages in apartments that are in a ghetto area, you know, but they get fixed quick. And then I have some in a ghetto area that don't get fixed quick. So there's two different models right there in the same, like just blocks away. It depends on the management company. And then I mean, houses, I have some great freaking landlords that fix shit right away. What you need. Hey, we got some filters coming out. We're going to pay for everything. We got some, a light bulb. We'll fix that. Then I got ones that don't want to do crap and they want you to freaking pay for servicing the air conditioner every year. And then they don't fix nothing. So it's like, it's same houses. So I can't really say it's houses is better than apartments because there's two different management companies managing two different apartments that are about the same. Two different houses being owned by two different owners with different mentalities. So I mean, geez, it's tough, and you try to vet them. You know, you try to get a sense of them, and you make these conversations before you rent the place. And like, for example, I'll say this, like, there's these condos over there. We arbitrage out of 2 of them, and the landlords are great. Anything happens, they fix it right away, and they make us good money. It's over by Love Field, you know. That's not ghetto. It's over by Love Field, crushing it. And there's one that went for sale that I saw on the market for a while, 1 bedroom. I was like, I know I can make enough money to make that thing profitable. I'm gonna try to buy owner finance, and we went back and forth with terms because it's been sitting on the market, and they came up with these ridiculous terms. I don't know, whatever. So that wasn't gonna work. And they said, well, you rent them as well. You know, what kind of deal you want to do for renting this one long term? And I didn't even want to mess with it because I knew how much of an a-hole they were being on the side. You know, it's like I said, it's been sitting for a long time. Nobody's trying to buy this thing. I come out on a full price offer with my terms, you know what I'm saying? And they were gonna do all right. I was gonna do all right. Yeah, I even put a balloon in there after we went back and forth. I put a 10-year balloon. You know, I'm still gonna pay you out. No worries. At least it didn't sit empty. And then, but the way they were being towards me, I could say I don't want them to be my landlord because I could tell something's gonna break and they're not gonna want to fix it. It's just you try to get a feel for people. It's not perfect, but like I said, I can't say one's better than the other, apartments or houses, whatever. It's just so many variables.
So, and then this brings me to another great question, especially for the guests. What are you at in your business now to where you can avoid stuff like that? What things are you putting in your contracts? Because I know Mike's real big on he'll put in a contract like, hey, you got X amount of time to go fix this stuff. Like, are there things that you're putting in your contract when you deal with like a standalone landlord to protect yourself at this point?
That's a good question. I don't. I mean, here's the thing, man. Because like the what is it called? The T-Rack, track, whatever lease. The Texas leases, whatever. It says they're supposed to fix things, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I've never done addendums. I know Mike Brown's big on that. You know, you got 24 hours to fix this shit, or I get to leave, whatever. I've never done that. I've always just, I've always done the rapport, tried to get the arbitrage in this. I've never really gone to that extent because I guess I was worried about scaring them off. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put all these strict things in there. Like, oh, whoa, man, I just put a ghetto family in there. I don't have to fix nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like, maybe that's what we got to start doing because then maybe that will deter the bad landlord. And the good landlord, like, oh, cool, let's fix it anyway. Because I'm starting to think like that. Because I'm about to go get this arbitrage in Mansfield. I'm like, shit, I hope I don't run into this type of landlord. But, it is kind of like one of those deterrents. But I don't know.
And you got to look at it too, man. Because people, it's still like a stereotype. People assume that a landlord is a freaking millionaire. No,
Yeah.
after bigger pockets, everybody's a landlord now. Everybody owns a prop
Yeah.
in our circles for sure. But there's a lot of people that are broke as fuck that have rental properties. So if
Facts.
AC goes out, they ain't got $10,000, bro. They ain't got $5,000 to go fix an AC. So I could see it from their end that they can't fix something, and it's like that's what puts you in a tough spot. But I mean, I can't go examine their finances before I go rent a place from them. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Man, it's a tough one, dude. I don't know. I mean, Home Shield sucks. I mean, you used to be okay. I'll throw some Home Shield on this shit. Man, they ain't gonna fix nothing. They don't fix nothing no more. It's just a waste of money. Man, you just hope. And now, if you say when you said that guy owned a bunch of houses, I would say, okay, well, that guy knows what he's doing. He owns a bunch of rentals. But I had a freaking landlord that owned a shit ton of houses too.
He was a slumlord.
And he was a slumlord, and he wouldn't fix shit. And I thought, well, this guy, he has his own construction crew. I was like, oh, cool. We're gonna be hooked up. Anytime, what happened was, I'm like, dude, this needs to get fixed. You've been ghosting me, this and that. I'm gonna send my own guys to fix it. I'll take it off the rent. No, I got a fence guy. I got it. This guy. I got it. And then it just delays it further because he wants to save that buck because he has his own crew, but his own crew's busy on like 10 different houses he's doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna come fix a damn doorknob or some shit, or something big.
They ain't. You know, it's that elasticity. He ain't got the bandwidth to do it. Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. And speaking of proper, I actually no longer use proper on places that I own. I moved over to Steadily. They're saving me like $300 to $400 a year. I was like, hell yeah, with the same coverage. So y'all might want to look into that. Yeah, I just switched over to Steadily, and they kick in August, and that's going to be like a $300, $400 saving, and it's the same. Now, the only thing about Steadily, they don't insure arbitrages. They only insure the places you own, which was cool with me because the places I own, I was like, man, I'll take that savings. So, yeah, I don't know. Proper has good coverage. They've always paid out. They've always taken care of stuff, but they're expensive.
Then you got to fill out a freaking Bible worth of material to get started with them, man.
You do. They definitely protect themselves.
Man. No, it's just I mean, so much to talk about, right?
Man.
that took us off on a tangent right there, man. Price, you mentioned something earlier. You're like, okay, I'm gonna just do the 10, we can do 10%. I don't have to worry about the cleaners and turnovers. Like I said, that sounds good on paper until their cleaner sucks, and then they're putting you in a bind, right? But
well, that's on them. Because you know what company does that and makes a lot of money doing it? Evolve.
Yeah.
They're horrible though.
I'm getting people from Evolve.
Yeah, you get people from them. But now I have a question. The people from Evolve, do they want to bring their own cleaners?
Do they want to bring their own cleaners?
No.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's
their cleaners. They hate their cleaners.
Because that's what happens. So the people from Evolve, they're easy to get because that's what Evolve does. Evolve will be like, well, I'll manage for 10%, but you bring your own cleaners, and their cleaners suck. So, and then they're bad at like taking notes of things. So you can get a lot of Evolve people because that's the only good thing about getting them. They're like, okay, I'm sick of this. I'd rather it be your cleaners. You handle it. That's the good thing about getting the people from Evolve for sure.
Yeah. We're scooping them up from Evolve because people hate that company, man.
Man, bro, I got friends who use Evolve. They're not happy at all.
I'm getting this lake house in Granbury, right? We're taking over the management. Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, these properties are like $1 million+ properties on the lake right there in Granbury, right? I went out and saw it and all that stuff, and it was being managed by Evolve, and this guy hated Evolve, all that, and I just walk in. I mean, the place looks all right, nothing fancy. The towels look like crap. There was like, one of the funny things is there was the tall bunk beds, the real bunk beds where kids break their arms off of, and shit. It was one of those tall ones, and the fan was like right there. So if you got up too quickly, you're gonna hit your head on the fan, right? It was like a huge
safety risk.
Safety risk right there. I said, first of all, you need to take this fan off and put just a regular light bulb there because this is not safe. and their supply closet was just wide open where the cleaners go in there and clean and stuff. It's just no lock on it or nothing. I was like, all right, cool, man. But yeah, they had evolved and they did such a shitty job that they want someone else, and they liked our sales pitch and they went with us.
Yeah. Evolve's known for being cheap. But I mean, they're the Walmart of management, and that's what that's what the service you get. As my manager always says, you get what you pay for. And that's what Evolve is. But yeah, man, I am loving the management model though. I'm loving it, making people happy, people are able to accomplish what they want, their dreams, their goals, make me some money passively, and we take care of everything for you. And man, I've been, my VA has been with us almost well over a year now. Man, it's like when you get a good VA that takes care of everything, and where you just there to put out fires, and that's been the best feeling, man. It's been the best feeling. That's why you're able to scale. So take care of your people.
How many VAs you got?
I just have one, but I let her hire other people if she needs them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a similar situation with me. Right now we got over, 50 properties that we're managing.
Mm-hmm.
So we need like a team,
yeah,
a one for each shift. And so, and I had mentioned it a long time ago, Princess is our lead VA. I went ahead and, after, me and Feta went our separate ways last year, I kind of restructured the company. I said, I'm gonna deal with you. You're the manager. You're gonna put people under you. That's fine. And one of the VAs, which is actually Feta's brother, who still works with us, Manu. Shout out to Manu. He's doing a great job. He was kind of my right hand man when me and Feta were still together and the company was, like that. And we handled the corporate side, me and him, right?
Yeah.
And then whenever we had to start making cuts in the payroll, cuts in the employees, trying just to keep the thing afloat, right? It went through some rough times. Manu jumped in and started doing like part of the ops, doing like day shift. And so he was helping out there, which is cool. But then the corporate side started dipping a little bit because that's where he was running the corporate side, right? Yeah. So now when we got everything stabilized again, I was heading the corporate side, pretty much, on myself with the help of Manu when he had time. But now I said, all right, let's restructure this. Princess, I'm gonna give you a little bump in pay so you can make your own team to handle the ops. I want to pull Manu back out of ops, put him into corporate, right? Because I need someone that's 100% corporate out there hunting for these corporate bookings, talking to all the corporate housing providers, insurance companies, all this stuff, getting our name out there, handling all that end of it, because I want someone just totally dedicated to that. That part of the company, man, it's probably half of our stays is now corporate.
Damn.
Half of our bookings are corporate style bookings, 30 days plus. So I want that to be higher. I want that to be like 80% of our stays. Mm-hmm. I don't want, when we price we make the calendar accordingly. I want to keep my calendar nice and empty about, half a month out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like to get this 2 or 3 weeks booked. That's fine. But I don't want ... all the way down my calendar, and it screws everything up. And then it used to be really easy to just cancel Airbnb bookings and this and that, but they're kind of getting hip to the fact that we're doing that. It still can do it, but it's a process, right? So I want to keep my calendars clean to lock in those 3 and 6 month bookings.
Man, bro, I've you know what I've done? I went back the old school route. I just went to, hey, anything 30 days out, you have to stay 30 days. Anything 20 days out, you got to stay 7. So the only time I ever have to fill gaps is between like that 20-day mark, 10-day mark. And what I do is, as soon as like someone checks out from a booking, we do the adjacency discount and discount, like, depending on what day it is, we'll discount some days. But my minimum stay is 2 nights. Anything outside of that is 2 nights, but we barely get them because most of the people I ain't about to pay this high ass rate for no 2 nights. You know what I'm saying? So they'll just book. So most of the people we attract are like 7 days, like the dude we just said, for a month. I had to go back the old school route because that's how I am too, man. People are, the midterm thing's picking up, and people just don't want my places aren't for leisure people. Like, my stuff has nice monitors in it with cameras, with like a work camera, a ring light. So if you want to if it's like more for that, I don't really want to cater to it. So I'm feeling I'm on the same wave. Now, one thing I do like, I like how you said you're going the corporate route. Like you got people headhunting corporate, like, hey, headhunting corporations. Because me right now, that's what I do. Like I sit on LinkedIn, hitting up ALE, Alacrity, anybody who may need it. And that's what I do. I sit there and add in connections. Hey, who's this? And I start replying to them, and I also start commenting on their stuff. I do that with ALE a lot. So I do need to have a VA do that. And I think I'm going to probably have to do that in the next month or so when I pick up this next unit and chill for a minute and just focus on trying to buy and things of that nature. Because I like that, man. Once you hit that point, you're good to go. Plus it's easier to pitch arbitrage that way. Like, hey, this is what I do. I'm a corporate housing provider.
No, man, LinkedIn, that's a big play right there. I circled that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm always. I don't even have social media apps on my phone besides LinkedIn. Like, I'll do my Instagram, like my Instagram daily check-in, but that I'm using LinkedIn. Yeah, I love it.
And my thing was too, and I've been taking a lot of days off of work, you know what I'm saying? Because I say that like this, at my job, every quarter, every 3 months, we could take a certain amount of days off, like almost 30 days off, like every 3 months. That's a lot of days. So, and that's not including the vacations and stuff we get too, that goes towards that. But I've been taking a lot of days off every week, 2 or 3 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week. I'm taking off from the job. So I'm only going in a couple of days a week. And, I took off a whole block it's for this previous vacation. We went to Mexico. And so I was coming in towards the end of this quarter, and then all of a sudden I was trying to take off some days, and the computer wouldn't let me. I maxed out of the days I could take off this past quarter. So this past 2 weeks, last week and this week, I had to become like a 40 hour a week kind of employee, man. I was like, oh shit, this is not cool, man. I got used to not doing that no more. I'm like, it's only fucking Tuesday. And so, and so what's funny, I was like, man, then that's kind of like when I just made this change to the team. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to be at work. That's fine. I gotta be at work. But I want to make this thing where it runs itself. Everybody says that, and the gurus say that and all this shit, but it's not always the truth. But the ops side runs itself 100%. And they'll ask me a question every now and then, and I'll tell them to go find the answer from somebody, or if I can help, whatever. The corporate side, like I said, it's kind of been a hybrid. Manu was in ops, and he's kind of handling corporate, and I help him out a little. But I made it, all right, dude, you're corporate. You are corporate. You doing this. So I wanted to set this up before I knew I had to work 2 straight weeks of work, right?
Man.
And so like but it's cool too. I'm like, all right, this company's gonna force me to be here. They're gonna send me some fat paychecks. That's cool, But it's a great way to experiment right now if my company can run if I didn't even look at it for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get off work and start fucking working on the company too. I don't want to do 2 jobs, right? I did that for a long time with this company, and I don't want to go back to that because that was just, fighting with the wife, not seeing the kids. It's not fun, dude. And so I was like, this is the perfect time to restructure, get the corporate side running just like the ops side. And that's the 2 big, pillars of my company. And if I can get it to run without me, and this is a good test run right here, these 2 weeks, and I'm about to go on vacation next week, going to South Padre Island, and it runs smoothly without me. It grows. It's been growing without me. We're getting these new people to manage, new places to manage. I'm like, that's what I want. I want a company that runs itself.
Man, bro, that's a hit. Because I'm gonna tell you what's funny. Before I went back to my job, a corporate job, that's what I did. I made sure all my ducks were in a row. Hey, VA, Zyra, you need this? Do you need this? Hey, here's this. I started giving her all the tools, using Monday.com, using Slack, I even have her a paid version of ChatGPT in case she needs to, get something out quick. By the way, all these messaging systems are now powered by AI. So you can have them AI go straight to Airbnb now, like Hostfully has it. So that makes messaging faster. We have that set up. But yeah, you have to get it that way, man. Because right now, the funny thing is, I'm doing a little bit different. I'm actually making sure the business runs itself while I'm going really heavy on corporate. Like what I'm doing right now is I'm maxing out. I'm trying to make the maximum amount I can make in my career field. so I can just passively invest in real estate. Not really passively, it's active, but I'm just going to be networking with wholesalers, buying deals and doing that way. Because that's really my mentor was like, bro, just max out what you have since you already have 2 kids, you got a wife, max out what you have, and then you can just buy real estate. Because my friend down in Tampa, they're killing it, bro. They started real estate 2 years ago. They own 6 doors, like cash flowing off like crazy. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So then I can just kind of do that. And then once I get to my number of doors, get out of there. Because now I have a question for you, because this kind of came to me, because it's one thing I've been struggling with. Going back to work for those 2 straight weeks, how hard has it been to adjust to the corporate life?
Well, for me, it sucks just purely because I have to wake up at 4 fucking a.m. to go to get into work, man. I ain't built for that, man. I was doing it so long, waking up at 4 a.m. Oh man, it was so hard, dude. But not only that, just being in that environment again. I mean, today the little crew I'm on that's doing the kind of like the what's it called? Inventorying parts or whatever. I'm like, hand me my papers. I'm gonna go inventory my shit, and then I don't want to, I put my what's it called, podcast on. I'm fucking good. I work by myself. But there's so many people at work that just love to bitch and complain and all this stuff. And you get around that negative energy, man. The company this place, nobody knows what they're doing, but every single fucking day. And then so we had like one of those powwow meetings where everybody's just bitching and venting. I'm just like, God dang it. Just give me my sheets so I get the fuck out of here. It's one of those things. And I'm like, it just, oh man, the energy just pulls you down, dude. And it's not the hardest job in the world, man. We ain't out there fucking roofing houses and shit like that. It's a pretty easy job. We're in air conditioning all fucking day. There's not a lot of jobs you get that. Yeah. And but people will still find a way to bitch and complain all fucking day, dude, instead of just grabbing the sheets and doing the goddamn work.
Oh man, dude, that's been my biggest issue with going back to the 9 to 5. It's like, okay, this is how I feel about 9 to 5. Like, I love it. I have a great team, everything. But this is what I noticed about myself in the 9 to 5. I'm not built to work under I can work under people, but like under people and with people, like I don't like having control. I don't like not having control of my time. That's what it is. Like, that's why I've been, like I told you, I'm maxing out my career field. My goal is to become an independent contractor. I was like, I want the 9 to 5 benefits, but I want to be able to structure it and control it my way. That's where I have to go, because it's like you said, the bitching, the complaining. Then like sometimes you hop into a meeting that's just a waste of time. The meeting really could have been an email, but we're sitting here in a meeting talking about life, and it's cool sometimes. But sometimes I'm like, man, I really could be doing something else right now. You know what I mean? And you have to really get used to it. Like, honestly, does it take 8 hours to do my job? No, probably about 4. Honestly, we're probably done in about 4 hours, but it's the 9 to 5. So you got to sit there and waste time for 4 more fucking hours, because that's just what it is. I'm like, damn, bro. And like that year and a half I was off by myself, I had learned how to create schedules. I had focused on my leadership skills. It reflects in my 9 to 5, but it's just like, you get around that certain crowd, and it's just like, man, it's just it's like you have to turn off a part of your brain that has that hustler entrepreneur side to you. You kind of turn it off. It's like you find yourself just wasting time with certain stuff. So that's been my biggest struggle. So I've been kind of like reading certain books. I always try to invest in myself, and so I can kind of get over that hump, and just invest in skills that I'm going to need for the future. Like right now, I know I'm going to need skills to be an independent contractor. Cause yeah, man, that's where I'm at with this. I know, man. Going back to the 2 weeks, that's been a struggle, bro.
It was funny, like when you hear a coworker start bitching and complaining and this and that, or they ain't doing shit. It's like, man, if you were my VA, I'd have fired your ass a long time ago.
That's funny. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, I know what
we
you
have
mean,
our VAs will fucking, walk the damn ocean for our asses. They want us to be happy. They love their job. They ain't, like I said, we ain't paying them what we're getting paid at these jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
But they're getting a fraction of that, and they're just happy to go to work, and they're happy to bust their asses.
That fraction is what we make over here. That's what you got to realize. That fraction is what we make. They're living like kings over there. Shoot, fly your ass to the Philippines and tell them what they're making. Shit, they're probably over there living in gold. But but no.
I'll tell you one thing that if we're gonna talk negatives, talk a positive.
Okay.
Is it did reintroduce a bit of structure back into my life because when I was just taking off most of my days, I'd get up in the morning, sometimes I wake up super early, sometimes not, and make my coffee, maybe get a little bite to eat, and then hit the computer. And I wouldn't have that structured, I'm gonna clock in at this time and I'm gonna clock out at that time, and I'd just be diving into something. I'd be stuck on something and I'd dive in. As soon as 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock rolls around, then it's just, everything's being flying at you. If you don't get that early start, like 4 or 5 a.m. to start working on your business, then by 8 o'clock, you start getting the phone calls. Hey, like especially you're closing on a house or you applied for some credit, or you get all the phone calls start coming through, and then it derails you. And then all of a sudden you look up, holy shit, it's like 5:30 and I'm at my computer, whereas my job, 2:30, we clock out. That's it. You're done. You come home, you play with the kids and see the wife and eat some food together. Whereas if you don't structure it strictly kind of like a job at your house, and that's the thing, I put it on my getting things done list, whatever the hell I call it on my phone. I said I'm gonna have a clock in and clock out time. Even though I'm at my house, I could work all day if I wanted to, and a lot of entrepreneurs do that. A lot of entrepreneurs, and the ones, especially the gurus that say they don't do it, those are the ones creating content all fucking day. So they do it too.
Yeah.
And we all do it. And it just, you get into a trap or you get a phone call and this and that. And you're like, your kids are like, hey, you said you're going to play with me. Hold on. I got to make this one. I got to just talk to, and there's no clock out to it. You have to force a clock out to it, and you got to put your phone somewhere where it ain't going to distract you.
That's so funny you say that. Cause that right there is the opposite. Cause like, I had that structure off my 9 to 5. So then when I went back, I'm taking on their structure. So it's like, oh, you know what I mean? So I know exactly what you mean. Cause it does like, especially if you're like free timing it. Yeah, it does give you structure. Like, hey, Steve, clock out at this time. Mike, clock out at this time. Clock in here. It gives you that structured balance, cause that's where I'm at now. It's just like, man, dude, I'm like, and also I'm in air conditioned, corporate, nice, but like, man, you'll get dragged in a meeting really quick, bro. Like I'm like outside of this, I'm like really introverted. So like when I'm just in a meeting and it's just talking and then talking, and then you got another meeting, you're sitting in meetings for 4 hours straight. Bro, I'm like, fuck this, get me out of here, bro. Get me out of here. But that's just, you have to adapt. I have to adapt to it. And it's been a grinding process on me, but I'm adapting to it.
You remember what's it called? Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
You remember his rich dad gave him that job at that convenience store, right? Remember that whole lesson? And he started off paying him 10 cents an hour or some stupid shit, right? And then he's like, and then he starts complaining, you're not even paying us minimum wage and this and that. You're taking advantage, because his dad was real, professor and that it leaned that way, workers' rights and all that stuff. And he's like, all right, okay, I'll double it. I'll triple it. I'll pay you $1 an hour. I'll pay you way more than the minimum wage. But you got to do this for me, and this. And he kind of he put it in his head that it's not about the hourly pay. Because you're going to give up all your freedom and what you want to do in life. You're not going to learn how to, he said, I'm teaching you how to run a business. I'm not teaching you how to sweep a floor. I mean, that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
But he goes, and he said that's when it dawned on him. He goes, do you want that? You want to give up all this and then make, $1 an hour or $10 an hour? He goes, what price is your price where you're just going to give up on all that?
Yep.
And it finally dawned on him. It's not about the hourly rate.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's what you're willing to give up for it, man. And that's why I was like, man, I got to become an independent contractor. I'm like, I got to go get my certifications because I got to control my time, man. That's the biggest thing. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I have a family member. Makes a shit ton of money. Head guy, he makes a shit ton of money in IT, but he don't have a family, nothing like that. Doesn't have a family, lost his family because he works all these hours. So I was just like, I always thought like I'm in the same field. I'm like, I don't ever want to be that. Right. So it hindered me from ever really growing in my career field because I was like, I don't want to lose my family and all that. Hell no, not for no paycheck. Hell no. If you say, Mike, I'll give you 150K a year, and you're telling me I'm around asshole management, people that don't want to improve themselves, you can have it. I'll take half of that for the piece. You know what I mean? But I was like, man, but if I become an independent contractor and I'm back to being myself and I can just work on improving myself, I think that's where I have to be. Because I was just like, I can't do the whole, like right now, how you're around the mindset. I don't like the mindset of this is one thing about corporate. I don't like the mindset where you can move up and be a manager, but have a poor leadership skills. You don't have to really improve yourself for the position. It's, oh, well, he's been here 10 years. We'll move you on up. And he's the worst person. Nobody likes him. He's an asshole. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. I'm not saying that's particularly at my job, but at other 9 to 5s, I see it. And I see why, like, to me, the 9 to 5 ain't feasible. Independent contracting and own a business on the side. That's how I am. It's just not feasible, man.
And I can already see it. Once you are your independent contractor, I see you setting up a little VA team that could do all that work for you.
Yeah, Chat GPT can train them. No, but yeah, that's my goal. I want to eventually have people under me, and I just train them and show them how to do it. And then, because yeah, man, I realized the last couple of weeks, bro. Even since the last time I was on the cast, I think I talked about it a little bit. I'm just not cut out to be like have my time stripped away. So I just really gotta. I'm like really honed in, like really going for this new goal, and I'm happy and excited about it.
That's cool, man. I like that. I like that. It's good to have goals.
Yeah, man. Goals set a fire under you. When you're working towards something, it sets a fire under you.
Big time. I mentioned something to you yesterday. This is off the cuff, right? This is off the cuff. This is like, we're taking a little detour here. He's looking on his text message.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know how this relates to anything we spoke about today about business in general.
Go ahead.
Okay, bring it back around.
Go ahead.
So Pizza Hut. I've been, back in the day, Pizza Hut was the shit, the best pizza you could ever get. I'm going off a little tangent here. Anyways, there's a Pizza Hut over here by me in Hurst, Texas. And just, man, the last few times I got pizza from there, it's just been bad experiences. They've been skimping like crazy. You get the box, it's light. There's no toppings on that thing. It's like it's skimping. And then, they expecting a tip when you go pick up your own damn pizza. And that's another story. Another story.
Yeah, it is.
But you can tell they're all, Hearst is a white kids there, smoking weed, whatever. So the quality wasn't good. And I even sent a thing and complained about it before. And so I was gonna order pizza yesterday. My daughters were playing all day and they wanted some pizza. I was like, oh cool, I'll get some pizzas. And I was like, I'll get Little Caesars. It's bad when Little Caesars passed Pizza Hut, in that Pizza Hut particularly, because Little Caesars was always the cheap route, man. That's what my mama got us. That's the only pizza we could afford when we were kids. It was all right. But anyways, so she's like, I want Pizza Hut. I was like, all right, let me get some Pizza Hut, hopefully. And I went to the app, and for some reason, that store wasn't accepting orders through the app. It said not available, whatever. But there's another store that's like just barely a little bit further away, the opposite way, the hood way, across the other side of 30 from me, East Chase, if anybody knows that. And
East
it's
Chase,
little hoodish over there. That's where the buses go. Anyways,
6, maybe no point. Go ahead.
Hey, not too far. and so I was like, should I risk it? I don't know what I'm gonna get with this hood Pizza Hut. Do they have like the protective bulletproof glass there? What's going on? And so I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go ahead. I already put my whole order in perfect on the app. I don't want to go do it all. So I went ahead and sent it to that Pizza Hut, my order, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go pray for daddy. I'm gonna go get some pizza in the hood. And so so I get over there, and like I told you, I pulled around back kind of to go park, and I told you Leon was out back smoking. I don't know what he was smoking. So anyway, he kind of mad dogging me. I was like, it's cool, man. And I was like, so I parked. I went in there, and and this young black girl, she was really cool. She's like, the sun was coming in behind us. I was like, oh, I'll stand in front of it. I'll block it. She was laughing, she's cool. And so I paid for the pizza and everything. They handed me the boxes were heavy. They opened them for you. I was like, damn, this is my reaction. She was laughing. I was like, she goes, does everything look good? And she opened mine, with all the toppings. I was like, yeah, it looks real good. I was like, damn, y'all did a great job. She's laughing. Thank you. And so I gave him a pretty good tip. And then I got the pizza. So I was like, holy crap, man. And went home. Best fucking Pizza Hut I've had in years, dude, since back in the sit down Pizza Hut era, And
man.
I texted you. I had to text somebody. Look at all these toppings. It's like full of toppings falling off, like so much cheese. I was like, the hood hooks it up, man. And that's always you.
Bro, the hood always hooks up food. I don't care what nobody says, man. You like, I don't give, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want to run your business like Chick-fil-A, because it's customer service oriented.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's chicken ain't not shit on Popeyes, man. And Popeyes in the hood, they ain't trying to leave the hood. They about to stay in the hood. I'm just for real. Like honestly, like it's certain things that are, when it comes to food, I'm a hood. I'm for the hood on food, man. Like even like I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna lie. This is one thing about Texas. Maybe you're a Texan. Maybe you can help me out on this. Since I moved here, I moved here from Arkansas. Now Little Rock, where I live now, Little Rock is a very hood place. It's one of the top 10 cities for some bad shit, but they got some good ass food. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like you can, like Waffle House, man. You hit Waffle House at 2:00 in the morning. Pookie back there smoking cigarettes, selling weed out the back, but that patty melt gonna hit. Since I moved to Texas, man, I had to like walk out the Waffle House. The lady comes to me, she's got a full set of teeth. I'm like, man, I expected my server to be Tyrone with a mouthful of golds, and they had like this real nice service. I'm like, man, you're supposed to be like talking a little hood, man. I expected her to have a little, ankle monitor on. She was a nice lady. I was like, man, the food wasn't that good. But man, every time I eat Waffle House, I have to go back to Little Rock. I have to go back home. I have to go down there. Go to Interstate 30, get off on Scott Hamilton, and man, you might dodge a few bullets, but that Waffle House is good as hell. I'm telling you. But it was a different experience for me since I moved to Texas. I don't eat Waffle House no more because like it seems like I'm going to an IHOP. But yeah, when you go to the hood, man, the food's always good. Customer service might not be good, but the food's good. Because I used to have to talk to Mahogany about that. Like she always, whenever we go to the hood, she always get an attitude with the people. I'm like, Mahogany, they're in a different socioeconomic area. They probably don't know how to be friendly. And she'd be like, well, still, they're supposed to treat us this way. I'm like, they don't know no better, man. That's all talk. You don't know no better. So I had to like, man, you out here cussing out the lady at McDonald's. She don't know no better. That's how she talk to people. So you have to have that patience, man. But I'm like, shit, you got all your damn fries and them shit's salty and good as shit. So, but you have to, have to be like that. But to bring that back around to short-term rentals, you got to know what type of business you want to build. Like you said, Steve said he has hood units that attract a certain type of crowd. You have to know how to cater to that certain type of crowd. Just what it is, man.
Way to bring it back around.
Always do. We always do.
I just say you're gonna go to Lisa's Chicken get a plate, man. That styrofoam's gonna weigh something.
Hell yeah! about a gallon of grease in there.
I just, a lot of it, I think they don't want someone, I mean, like you see in the videos online, they don't want someone to jump the counter and beat their ass for not giving them enough food. So they're gonna hook it up, right? Yeah,
because they're gonna get cussed out by anybody else who up in there. Where's my stuff? You know what I'm saying? But that might, you know what? You might have just solved why hood food spots are the best, man. Them hole in the walls are always the best.
What the fuck is this? Man,
that's the truth, man.
Shout out to East Chase Pizza Hut, y'all. I left y'all a great ass review too, man, because y'all hooked it up, man. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna go back there for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Good customer service. It comes in all sizes, shapes, and colors. You know what I mean?
Big time, dude. You get a Whataburger at about 2 a.m. and you look back there, it's all Mexicans working. You're gonna get hooked up, man. You ain't gonna wait an hour for your food,
bro. The McDonald's down here, all the Mexicans work there, man. It's just
so crank it out,
man. Cranking them out, man.
There's some jalapenos on that shit. For real.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, we talked about a bunch of stuff. I don't even know how long we went on today. It's been a minute, man, but
Yeah, it's been a minute.
it's always great to reconnect.
Always, man.
You mentioned something earlier, the 10% thing. I kept trying to get back around to that. I kept forgetting, but like you said, well, if I'm just gonna do this, I'm gonna do 10%. And I did something similar with a client that we already have, but they have a cabin in Broken Bow, right?
Yeah.
And they said, man, we ain't got any bookings. Summer's here. You know, this is end of May. I don't have one booking for June. And this, I look at their pricing and it's crap. You know, they're not doing nothing creative in pricing.
Oh man.
It's just one price all the way through the month. And they no same day check-in. There's so much wrong with it, right? I said, $150 a month, I'll do pricing for you. Just pricing. $150 a month. And so I went ahead and started with them for $150 a month, and I got all of June 100% full for them. You know, doing the pricing strategy, nice long bookings, you know, and then filling in the gaps. 100% booked, made way more than they were wanting to make, and they're like, okay, cool, we want you to manage, you know, full time. So that was my in, a cheap, you know, little pricing, $150. That ain't nothing. I'm gonna fill your calendar up, and now they want us to manage it full time. So that's a good in. If you got some skills like that, use that, and then you could take over someone's unit fully.
That is the reward for providing value. Straight up. The reward for providing value. I love it.
Yes, sir. We've been going on for a while. Anything else you want to add before we hop off? No,
man. I'm just happy we were able to hop on. Hopefully, we just provide some value to our listeners. But yeah, thank y'all for continuing to listen, man. We'll start doing these me and Steve Epps once again, man. We'll try to crank something out every now and then. This has been good, fun, good to just release all the crap that's been going on in your business and in your life.
So much, dude. I got burned out. I told you I got burned out. We hadn't released an episode in a while, you know. I got burned out. It's good to step away. You appreciate it more when you come back, you know.
You do. You appreciate it more. That's always good. Once you get that burnout, man, anything in life, man. If you got burned out from your job, take a vacation. Seriously, man, if you can. But you know, and if you can't take a vacation, create some passive income.
All right, man. Where can people find us, Myka?
Man, find us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all that fun stuff. Send us an email, Myka at LiveLetThrive.com, Steve at LiveLetThrive.com, LiveLetThrive@gmail.com. And hit us up. We'll definitely keep cranking these things out. Thank y'all for continuing to listen. It's been, 7 years? We still doing it. So thank y'all. Can't stop, won't stop. No Diddy. And
LFT out.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.